Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Emma Glory, your CRM and email marketing instructor. If you've been following this CRM series for a while now, then you will know that we have talked about a lot of things. We've talked about what a CRM is and what it really does and why every business should use a CRM. We've also talked about how you can pick a CRM and the things to prioritize while picking a CRM. Today we are going deeper. We're going to be talking about the key components in a CRM. So once you log into your CRM, the CRM you've chosen, you are going to be seeing some components like the leads, the contacts, the deals, the pipelines, the tags, the notes, activities, and you are thinking, oh my god, this is a lot. Now the confusion might start, but do not allow that confusion to set in. What you want to do is to take a pause, then start learning all of these components one by one. So by the end of this video, you are going to understand how each component work and what they mean and how you can use them in your CRM. So the first component we are going to be talking about is your sales cycle and your sales process. These two components sounds familiar, especially, and some people actually interchange the two, or they mistake one for each other. But in this video we are going to be seeing how to use both of them. So both of them sound familiar, like I said, but they are not the same. So a sales cycle is the length of time for a lead to turn into a paying customer. So you know how you get leads from your website, you get leads from different places. Now the sales cycle is the length of time. So if it takes 1 month for your leads to become customers, then your sales cycle is 1 month. Averagely, if it takes 2 months for your lead to become customer, then it takes 2 months. That means your sales cycle is 2 months. Sometimes your sales cycle can just be a day. People can just come into your website and just order something and just buy it. Sometimes the sales cycle can take 2 days. People can just decide they want to buy something and the next day they order it, or they just go for it. So for some businesses it's just 1 day, while others it can take 2 months. Even some businesses it can take 6 months. So it depends on your business. So this length of time is called your sales cycle. So for example, if you are buying a bottled water, it is actually fast. You need a bottled water, you just get it. The sales cycle is like 1 day or even some hours. So buying a house is different because you need time to be able to think through your options. You need to look at different options. You need to look at the disadvantages and the advantages of the house, and a lot of points to take in before you can make that decision. So knowing your sales cycle is going to help you to be able to set realistic goals, because if you have deals in your sales pipeline, you can be able to automatically calculate or averagely calculate how long this deals are going to become paying customers. So it is going to help you set realistic goals, and you can be able to make realistic forecasts. So a sales process is actually different from the sales cycle in a way that the sales process is a step-by-step path that someone has to follow before they become a customer. So the sales process is a process that a lead is going to take and they have to follow before they become a paying customer. So it could look like this: a new lead coming into your system, then they book a discovery call, then you have to submit the proposal to them, then you have to do the follow-up, then before the close sales occur. So the sales process is different for different businesses, and if you know your sales process, is going to help you a lot in setting up your CRM. For instance, the sales process for buying a house is going to be different for an e-commerce sales process. So if you know how to set up all of the sales process, it's going to help you to make decisions on how to set up your CRM. So your CRM is going to organize this process so you do not lose track of any of your leads. So if your process is unclear, just know that your CRM is going to be confusing. So you want to make sure that you know your sales process, know how you are getting the leads, and when you get the leads, what are the process they have to go through for them to become a paying customer in your business. So when you know this sales process, you can then be able to map that out in a sales pipeline, and when you map that out in a sales pipeline, it's going to help you to be able to take each of this lead through every one of this process. So that is the difference between the sales cycle and the sales process. So the other components we want to look at are the leads, the contacts, and the account. So there are main differences between these three components, and that is because a lead is different from a contact, and a contact is different from the account. A lead is someone that has shown interest in your business or in the things you're selling, but they are not qualified yet. So for instance, if you are bringing in people into your CRM and they are coming in from your website, you have not been able to qualify them whether they will be able to buy your product or not. So they are leads. If they are coming from your website, they are leads. If you put out a freebie on your website and you allow people to be able to download that freebie and they put in their details like their email and their name, they are leads. But when they come into your CRM and you're able to qualify them, maybe based on their budget or based on their location or based on every criteria you are using in your business, that is when they become a contact. So a contact is someone who is qualified or is engaged enough that they are actively looking to buy from you. If they are not actively looking to buy from you, they are not contacts, they are leads. So an account is the business or organization that a contact is associated with. So now we've been able to qualify this contact, then we can be able to check the company that they are working with or the company that they are coming from. So that company is called account in our CRM. So this is actually very useful for B2B companies, and if you are working with teams, and that is because you can be able to see the contacts that are coming from different businesses, and you can be able to connect those contacts to those companies. So for instance, let's say Sarah downloads a free guide on our website and she is a lead. If she's coming to this CRM, when she downloads freebie on our website, she is a lead. If we speak to her, or for instance, if we ask her to fill out a form and we see that she's qualified to buy from us, maybe based on our location or based on what she's looking for, then she is a contact. Then if she works for ABC Limited, then ABC Limited is going to be the account. So another component we want to look at are the deals. Say a deal, which is sometimes called opportunity. If you are using CRM softwares like HubSpot or Zoho CRM, it is going to be called deals. But if you are using CRM softwares like Go High Level, it's going to be called opportunity. So a deal or an opportunity is a potential sales that you are trying to close. For example, remember Sarah, if she wants a 3-month coaching from us on how to use our CRM, then we can then create a deal and we can be able to put a price to that deal. So that interest is going to become a deal. If Sarah says that she's interested in our 2-month coaching program, then we can create a deal for Sarah and she can be able to go through each of our sales process for her to become a paying customer. So remember the sales process we have, where we add the new lead, then the discovery call, then we have the discovery call with Sarah to see what she needs and how we can help her. And after the discovery call, we can then send a proposal to her, and when we send the proposal to her, then we can move on to the contract and send the contract to her. Then she can become a paying customer. So that interest, like I said, is going to become a deal. So why are deals important? Deals are actually very important for you to be able to track revenue, and they represent money. We all want money in our businesses, so deals will help you to be able to track the money that you are losing by losing clients and the deals that you've been able to close. So if there are no deals on your pipeline, then that pipeline is not effective. So now let's look at the other component, which is called the sales pipeline. So your pipeline, your sales pipeline, is where you track all of your deals. So it is where you track the movement of your deals from stage to stage. Let's think of it like a straight line that has each steps on the straight line, where we are able to track each stages. So like I said, in our sales process, we have the new lead, we have the discovery call, and all of this. Example pipeline, we can have a new lead for the first stage where Sarah is going to come in. Then the next one, we will have to qualify Sarah. Then that is going to be the qualified stage. Then the third stage can be the consultation stage, where Sarah can be able to book a call. Then the next stage can be after the consultation has been done, then we can then send a proposal, which is proposal sent. You can even decide to create another stage called proposal signed. Yeah, that's if it works for you. Then you can create another stage where you need to follow up with Sarah to see if she's okay with the proposal. And after that, you can create another stage called the contract sent, where you can send a contract to Sarah if she agrees with your proposal. Then the next stage can be the contract signed and the closed one. So that is an example sales pipeline. So remember that the sales pipeline can be according to your business. The sales pipeline for a coaching program will be different from a real estate program. You can create a stage where you need to go with the client to check the houses and everything like that. So remember that the sales stages is going to be different according to businesses. So please do not copy the sales pipeline of another business that is not yours. each sales pipeline is unique to each person or to each business. So please take note of that, and remember that a sales pipeline is going to tell you how many deals you are managing in your business, and where your money is getting stuck is going to tell you that also. And you will also see the deals you need to focus on. So if there are deals that needs follow up, or if there are deals that you need to contact the contact associated with the deal, you can be able to know all of that through your sales pipeline. So for instance, if Sarah is stuck as proposal sent for too long, then the CRM can help you to follow up with Sarah to see why she's taking long in accepting the proposal. Another component of the CRM is called the activities. And activities, we have tasks, we have meetings, we have follow-ups, and they are just like reminders that are created in the CRM that helps you to prevent forgetting what to do. So you know how you have consultation with some clients and they can ask you to send a proposal, then you forget to send the proposal. That is actually very bad, and that is how you lose leads, or that's how you lose your deals. So we do not want that to happen, and that is why we are creating activities. So activities are like reminders that are created in the CRM for us to be able to remember to do some tasks. So it is automated, it can be automated. So you can create a task whereby if you have a consultation call with someone and they ask you to send the proposal, you can create an activity to send the proposal in 3 business days. So for example, the Sarah illustration we are using, we can say if Sarah had a consultation call with us, we can decide that if we call Sarah on Tuesday, we can then decide to create a follow-up email after the consultation. Then we can prepare a follow-up by Friday. All of these can be done with activities, and this is where CRM is going to help you to save your memory, and you do not need to forget whatever tasks you need to do. And remember, you do not need to rely on your brain with this. So your CRM is going to become your brain assistant, which does not forget whatever you need. And that is the amazing thing about CRM. I so much love CRM. So another component is your custom fields. So your custom fields are where your CRM is going to become very personal for your business. So you can create fields like the budget, you can create fields like the business sizes. Remember that you are creating these fields for you to be able to know more about your contacts. So you can be able to maybe send out a form and they can be able to fill all of these fields. It is going to help you have more knowledge about your contacts. You can ask them what their pain point is. You can ask them what they need help with. You can create all of these custom fields in your CRM. You can even ask them the product that they are interested in. If you are in a coaching business, you can ask them if they are interested in different the different coaching programs that you do, and you can ask them various questions with the custom fields. So you can also track the source, you can track the timeline to purchase. All of this can be done with custom fields. You can check if the source is from Instagram or if the source is from the website or from a referrer. All of this can be done with custom fields. So custom fields is going to help you to segment, it's going to help you to follow up intelligently. So instead of speaking to everyone the same way, if you have your custom field created, you can be able to speak with people in your CRM based on the answers that you have put in. So for instance, if you have a coaching business and you have people that are interested in the 1 month program, you can be able to send out emails, or you can be able to communicate with them based on that information that they have put in, which is the 1 month program. If you have the 2 months program, you can be able to communicate with them based on the 2 months program option that they have picked. So this will help you to be able to communicate with them personally, like you will know what they want and you can be able to communicate from that standpoint. So better personalization will help your CRM work in such a good way. So let's see how all of this is going to work together. So let's say a person is coming as a CRM from your website, then you can be able to qualify them and they become a contact. So if they are coming into your CRM from your website, they are leads, and when you qualify them, they are contacts, and if they are interested in what you do, they become a deal. So when a person comes into your CRM, they are called deals, and when you qualify them, they become contacts. So if they're connected to a company, you can create a company, or you can create an account for them based on the name of their company. And after that, if they show an interest in your products or your services, they become a deal, and that is to show a possible sale to the contact. So remember that the deal is connected to the contact and not to the lead. So the deal is going to move through the sales pipeline that you have created from the new lead down to the closed sale, and activities is going to ensure that you do all of the follow-ups you need to do and all of the follow-ups that are going to happen in each stages of the pipeline. So custom fields will help you to store your relevant information, and then you can then close the sale. Yeah, that is how everything works together, and that is the breakdown of the component of your CRM. I hope this cleared up the confusion you had and the confidence to be able to move on in your CRM. If this was helpful, please do not forget to subscribe to this channel and also like this video so that I can know it's a good video for you. And you can also leave a comment below if you have any issues with your CRM. I am here to answer all of your questions, and let me know in the comments below also the CRM that you are using. I'm trying to see what CRM people are interested in so I can make videos according to that. So let me know in the comments below the CRM you are using, the one you like, and the ones you are even having issues with. I would actually love to know it. So I will see you in my next video. Bye.